and welcome to the Lost Archives. My name's Owen, and I'm the Dungeon Master of this ragtag group of heroes and adventurers.
Hi everybody, I'm Claire. I'm playing Mira, who's a Dragonborn Sorcerer, half red dragon, half silver dragon. Originally was a bit of a politician, and now has joined the adventuring life, probably to a greater extent than she ever expected.
Hi everyone, I'm Michael. I'm playing Lockie, a Warforged Artificer. Originally was part of a flying castle, but I've since left and resumed an adventure with my now friends.
Cool. Hey guys, I'm Jared, and I play the character of Jin. He is a level 6 Law Bard and a level 2 Hexblade Warlock. I'm currently an associate and ally of the Tempest Guild, and I'm helping them in their goal of stopping the Queen of Dragons, Tiamat.
Hello, I'm Ali, and I'm playing Shana, the Yuan-Ti Sorcerer, who is traveling with the Tempest Adventuring Guild, trying to find the other half of her soul, who is hiding somewhere away, far from reach.
Hi guys, I'm Matt, playing Yervith, the sneaky Wood Elf Ranger and Rogue, who, after a tragic incident in the jungle with his previous expedition, has now joined up with this lovely ragtag group of adventurers and is looking to see what happens next.
Across. Hello! I wasn't ready this time. Hello. Welcome to the Lost Archives. My name's Owen, and I wasn't paying attention to where the intro video was up to. I was lamenting how tough my life is. Not that bad. It's completely fine. How you guys doing? It's lovely to see your faces again. It's lovely to have Claire and Michael back joining us. How exciting. Love having you guys back. I hope you guys have been having a good week. We've had a pretty good week, I reckon, for the most part. Everyone's looking a bit tired, but I think otherwise we've had a pretty good week. I know, obviously. It's not as cold. That's true. It's not as cold.
That's very true.
No, that's good. It is not as cold. I'm quite happy about that too. I was finding the brisk mornings a bit tough, but no, it's much nicer now. Thank you to everybody who came and has been checking out the mead making video I posted to YouTube. Wow. Something a bit different. Very different from our normal content. Let me know if you like it and if you want more. I will continue to do mead making. It was the very first time I've ever done any brewing myself. I'm sure it looked like it. So let me know if you enjoyed it, if you want to see more of this stuff. I'm going to keep making mead and beer and things like that because I'm fucking loving it. It's great fun. So I'll keep making it, but let me know if you want me to keep filming it and chucking it up on online. Let me know. I may even do some live streams of like putting a brew together and things like that. That could be fun. I was gonna do it for this one, but then I ended up not having time to live stream it, and I just thought, look, I'll just record it and edit it, and then it can look a bit nice, look a bit fancy, and then chuck it up.
Fresh.
A bit French.
Nice.
So I will do a video where I taste it. Probably in about 2 more weeks, I think will be a good time to go taste it, just to see that it's ticking along nicely. Want to make sure the spices aren't overpowering it, and then after that we'll let it sit for another month, and then I think we'll do a taste with as many cast members as we can. If I can get some bottles sent out to these guys, which should be possible, I think we can all do a taste together. Because I've got all the bottles. I bought a whole bunch of bottles that I can store, like flip top bottles. If I seal it up, should be possible.
Good. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So we'll see. So I'll see how easy that's going to be without causing too many problems. Any fun news from the week from anybody else?
Not really.
No, that's fine.
Pretty boring.
Yep.
I started another campaign on Sunday. This is now my third campaign that I'm in.
Hey.
This is getting ludicrous, but it's great. Really good. Off to a great start. It's going to be pretty wacky, and I'm enjoying it greatly.
Is this the one that was on the Discord?
Yes.
Yep.
We're playing in what's the name? It's the 3rd edition city, Patolis. Yeah.
Patolis.
It's really good. It's I'm playing a level 5 goblin blade singer, which has been a lot of fun.
Oh mate, that is awesome. So much possibility there.
His name is Skaggs, and he is the best. I love him.
And he's the
very
best.
much. He has a little familiar that walks around, which is a crab he has like a dagger in his hand, and his name is Mr. Cogsworth.
Mr.
The best.
Has he done the crab rave yet?
What?
Have you done the crab rave yet?
Oh yeah, 100%. he just follows in the back, when he can. But no, it's off to a great start. We've got some creepy cultists. They're really into who doesn't love cultists?
We're doing a whole campaign about creepy cultists. I mean, who doesn't love hunting down cultists?
These cultists are really into like body modification, so that's kind of an interesting angle. Yeah, so I tried to pass myself off as just a really ugly halfling, and I guess that worked. Because I'm now in their inner sanctum, and we're about to go to a different plane of existence. So,
hey, fantastic!
We're off to a start.
Mission accomplished, right? Like that's what you were aiming for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally.
So I'll give you my feedback next time we play, and see how it's going. But no, it's off to a good start.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Make sure to share any fun D&D stories on the YouTube comments, and I'll share them on stream for you listening, not just the players here. In fact, I'll get Yervith to share his fun campaign stories if we don't have any listener ones. But remember, if you have any fun stories from playing any type of tabletop RPG, Avatar Legends, Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, Edge of the Empire, Call of Cthulhu, Powered by the Apocalypse, every other one that I don't have time to mention here because it would literally be the entire session. If you have any campaigns or stories or times or characters, chuck a comment, let us know, and I'll share your story, character, comment, tale on stream so everyone else can benefit from it, because that's what we're here to do, right? We're here to share in those stories, share in that delight. Let's do it. Let's get you guys to tell some of yours. Alrighty. I think we should do a bit of a recap and get into things, because obviously Claire and Michael weren't here last session, so Lockie and Mira don't know what happened, and it was fun. So let's do a recap. The Tempest Adventuring Guild, a group of mercenaries, explorers, and adventurers, has been working to thwart the machinations of a group known as the Order of the Dragon. This cult has been amassing power, wealth, and knowledge in an attempt to perform a ritual which would bring a dark draconic god, Tiamat, back into the world. Our story has been following the escapades of some of the members of this group, Mira, Jin, Lockie, Yervith, and Shana, who have travelled to Chiari, the draconic nation, to work against the cult's actions there. As their airship entered Chiarian airspace, a gold dragon came to warn the party away from Veloxur, the capital city. After revealing their association with Otaliacanos, Elia, the dragon attacked, resulting in a brief but intense fight, which ended with the dragon being driven away. Deciding that flying the airship directly into the city might alert the cult or other enemies to their presence, the group decided instead to head for a winery owned by a friend of Otaliacanos. Arriving at the Worm's Respite Estate, the party were introduced to Bacchus, the owner and proprietor of the winery and brewery, who was happy to house the airship and crew for a few days in return for the purchase of several crates of wine and a potential partnership deal. The party then travelled to the Silver Scale Manor, the family home of Elia, and spent some downtime resting. The next morning, Yervith decided to explore the expansive gardens and greenhouses containing plants said to be from the home plane of the dragons. Meanwhile, Shana explored the library and came across some information regarding a lich known as Asarak. And Jin pushed his shape-shifting powers to the limit, resulting in him running around the halls as a naked halfling. However, these distractions were soon brought to a halt with the discovery that one of the greenhouses had been raided. While Elia fetched the others, Yervith tracked the thieves to the manor cellar, where a tunnel had been dug through the earth. With the others arriving on site, Shana was able to find a torn section of paper containing some ominous scribbles. We are not going to start tonight's session with the three plus Elia who are down in the cellar with Shana, Yervith, Jin, and Elia. We're actually going to jump back in time 2 hours. Yeah, it did escalate. Exactly right. Lockie and Mira. You awaken in the morning, sunshine pouring through the open balconies as the chill of the night air has subsided. The large strips of fabric that have covered up those balconies have been pulled back again, allowing the warm air to enter in, which also allows sunlight to enter into your rooms. You awaken slowly, sort of blinking to life as the light awakens you. You find standing to attention at each of your doorways to your bedrooms, Dragonborn attendants, each bearing a platter of food and drink. Lockie, in your case, a flask of oil has been prepared and is being held in place.
Oh, lovely.
So we'll jump to Lockie first. Lockie, as you awaken, the Dragonborn attendant, a red Dragonborn, bows very deeply, walks into the room, places the flask of oil on the bedside table, bows again, and backs out of the room, and then stands to attention just outside the door.
Hello, fellow.
he walks back in again. This Dragonborn is very slight, not very muscular. Curved horns have been sort of pulled back, and you can see they've actually been sanded down to reduce their length and to form these very intricate spirals at the tips. So it's been done for presentation, for ostentation. They are very fancy. Dressed in very standard sort of Chiari and toga, wrapped around to allow the tail to slip out from underneath. And his sort of fingers are adorned with thin silver and gold rings that shine against his red scales. He bows as he enters. Yes, guest.
That's a fun name. I was just wondering if my friends were awake yet. Or...
Yes, I believe they are. Some have headed downstairs. I know one of your company, the elf, is taking a stroll in the gardens. You can see him from the balcony if you wish.
That's it. Well, thank you for the oil. I appreciate it. Is there something I'm supposed to do now? Do I need to... He tries to bow. Do I need to do... I'm confused.
No, that is not necessary. You are a guest here. Courtesy is afforded to you, not by you.
Oh, I see. I appreciate the courtesies. That's what we are.
Sorry. He bows again and then walks out the door and stands to attention. Lockie, as you stand up and do that sort of half bow, you can indeed see Yervith just outside the balcony door. On the level below, wandering through the gardens, you can see he is with Eleanor, currently in, was it a red dragon form? Yeah, currently in a red dragon form, walking through the gardens, sort of inspecting some of the plants. And he just seems to be sort of looking around, walking very slowly, not in any rush, and just examining the garden beds and looking at some of the plants there. You can see there's a number of gardeners working around him, sort of moving out of his way, occasionally sort of shooting glances at Eleanor, looking a bit confused and a bit surprised, but mostly keeping their work, keeping themselves to their work, and working very, very hard and very busy on the garden beds, tending to these plants.
That's it. All right. Well, he will use the oil on the little bits that are a little. And then I suppose he'll. I guess I want to explore. Maybe try and find an armory or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you say that out loud? It sounded like you said that in Lockie's voice.
I'm saying most things in Lockie voice these days.
Okay. No,
yeah.
It's often.
Oh, is are you method acting?
Bleeds through.
It does bleed through.
See, it's funny you say that because I had a similar problem a while ago when the last time I was a player, so 4 years ago, so where I was playing an Irish bard, and I found it very hard to stop using the voice once I started. It was really tricky. I really had to, and I find myself like really falling back into it way too quickly. It's too easy. It's really hard to not do it. And there was an Irish surgeon I was talking to, and I started to do it, and he noticed. It was so bad.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he was good about it because I just flat out I was like, I'm going bright red. I was like, I have a podcast. It was one of the characters of the podcast. I'm so sorry. It's not intentional. And he was like, oh, that sounds really cool. Okay, did you send me through the link? I'd love to check it out. I was like, there's no way he's still watching. That guy's he's way too important. No way. If you are listening, thank you so much for sticking around because this is a while ago. We were on episode like 50 something when you listened. So thank you if you've stuck around. I really appreciate it. And how do those cannulas go? Can you let me know?
Please tell me they were nasal cannulas and not the other kind.
Lacrimal cannulas for the eyelid.
Oh.
Yeah, so sometimes you get like a blockage. You need to like. No, I'm kidding. Don't think about it. But yeah, sorry. Quick aside. I Michael, my heart goes out to you, man. I get it. I really do. It's hard.
Yes. Yeah. No. Yeah. He'll go and wander around, find something that sparks his interest.
Yeah. As you step out onto the balcony, you can see your attendant bows and immediately heads into the room and begins sort of tidying up around you. Being a Warforged, you've not used the bed, I'm assuming, because So he sort of goes in to like tidy the bed up, and still perfectly made from the day before. Goes to sort of bundle up some of the sheets and cush it, but they're still there. They've not been touched. It goes to dust, but like you don't shed skin and hair. You're made of metal and wood. He's sort of, you can see he's kind of at a bit of a loss of what to do. So he just like pats the bed down and then leaves. Just like a pat, 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 and then walks out of the room behind you. As you sort of walk out and have a bit of a look around, obviously looking like you're not 100% sure where you're going, he sort of puts a hand on your shoulder.
Do you need directions? Where would you like to head to?
Well, I was going to have a little wander around, but is there a forge or an armory nearby? Here's a thought. Do you know of any secret passages in this castle?
Secret passages?
Yes.
None that I'm aware of, sir.
Insight.
All right, yeah. I'll have to find them now.
You can make an insight check. Of course you can.
Sure.
He was going to. From the moment Claire was like, wait a minute. 9. Lockie, you get the sense that he's being honest. You don't sense anything more than like there's a moment of confusion and then amusement, followed by
no, sir. There are no secret passages that I'm aware of.
That you're aware of.
Secret tunnel. You get a bit of a chuckle you get a bit of a chuckle from him as you say like, well, I'll have to have a look around then.
Let me know if you find any.
Oh, I will. Mostly.
Forge or armory. Yes. You will not find such things on the manor grounds. I'm sorry, sir. This is a diplomat's house.
I see. Not a fortification. That makes sense. Maybe I'll go find Mira, and he'll walk off. But he will be looking for secret passages.
Okay. Can you make me an investigation check as you go along, as you look for secret passages? We will jump to Mira. Mira, you awaken, same as Lockie. Food is prepared. You can see that there is it's very traditional Chiarian food. So large flatbread with an arrangement of dips around and some pickled vegetables and some fruits that have been presented. Not pickled fruits, I should specify. Pickled vegetables, fresh fruit on a platter that is placed down next to you. And you can drink as much as you like. There's a cold pressed juice presented in a cup as well. You would know that the Chiarian food is very similar to Middle Eastern cuisine in our world. It's very Turkish inspired. But yeah, it's presented down to you, and the Dragonborn attendant, the same one that you'd spoken to the previous day, bows very deeply and then sort of stands beside the door in case you need her.
Cool. I guess Samira is a little bit more comfortable in this cultural environment than Lockie, so she doesn't she just kind of lets the attendants,
Yeah, you grew up with this. Yeah.
Yeah, this is fine.
Actually, I shouldn't say you grew up with this. Once you became a diplomat, you got very used to this. Once you left the university, obviously as from a very minor, a family of very minor importance, a Dragonborn family within the city, not particularly very middle class, shall we say, very very middle class family, but you were afforded opportunities for education, and that has risen you in the status as a diplomat, and obviously being apprenticed to, not apprentice, what's the word I'm looking for? Being interned with Elia.
Yeah, I was an intern. Yeah, absolutely.
Interned with Elia, and then becoming part of her staff has risen you up the ranks quite quickly in Dragonborn society. You would have been exposed to a lot of this pretty quickly, and you've had a lot of chances to get used to it as time's gone on.
Yeah, so actually on that note, I think Mira, she would make a list in the morning of possible contacts in the city that they could, in terms of allies or information about the cult, and she's kind of teeing things over to herself and just getting things organised in her head. So I don't know what happened last time, but she would probably try and find Ilya to run the list by her.
It'd take a little bit of time to get that list together.
It would.
Yeah. I'd probably say like probably take you 20, 30 minutes to just go through and think through like who can, so because this gets a little bit tricky, right? Someone who you can trust with this information, because the information you've got is potentially quite damaging if it got out. You know quite a lot of things at this point that potentially don't want to be public knowledge. The problem is that if you're going to people for information, then these people they're willing to discuss information. They're willing to share information. You want them to share it with you, but not share what you're going to tell them to anyone else. So that list of people you can trust in both directions to tell you everything that you need to know, but without sharing what you're going to share with them, does narrow down that list.
Well, I guess it's more in terms of her contacts. So like there's political science students, the other interns, there's sort of like, if they're, and she would ask, you know, it tends like, do they know of anyone who's joined not the cult, but what was it? Children of Tiamat. Tiamat, yeah, and how to get into one of their meetings. You know, like she's going through all that. She's like, I'm a spy, but an organised one.
Yeah. So, do you want to make me a history check, please, Mira?
Cool. I am not good.
That's okay, because I'm taking other things into account. The fact that you are familiar with the area, the fact that you know these people.
That's a 2.
2.
I'll use my inspiration to reroll that one.
Okay, absolutely. You can take off, mark off that inspiration and give that dice a reroll. 12 is a bit better. Yeah, there's a couple of contacts who you know that you could go to. One of them is one of your lecturers from the university, from the Tyranny University. One of the lecturers in particular you really connected with. She is a red Dragonborn who really kind of took you under her wing. Took you under her wing during the training. Who looked after you, who really connected with you, and who kind of looked out for you for the rest of your schooling. I think actually she probably would have been the person who put you in contact with Elia. Sort of seeing your potential, seeing your gifts, would have been one of the lecturers or one of the people involved with the decision of, hey, Elia only accepts, or Taliakanos only accepts an intern every like 50 years. We've got to make sure we put forward a name of someone who's going to be appropriate. Why not Mira? She probably would have been one of the champions pushing for you to be there, and possibly even was the one who introduced you to Elia. You obviously haven't been in Veloxer in Shari for a very long time, but you know that she had been teaching at the university for a number of years. She may still be there. And I would also say you probably do know her home address if you needed to. You probably would be able to find her if you needed to. Like, you probably would be able to locate where she was.
Cool.
Oh, and her name is Fuldrad. Fuldrad.
Fuldrad. Okay.
Fuldrad. I'll type it in chat.
Cool. Also, just as a point for me, does Mira know like how information is spread in the city? Is it a newspaper or like announcers or heralds or sort of?
Yeah. Great question. Announcers. The printing press is not something that has become widely circulated throughout Chiari as it has in Oshia. Obviously, there are newspapers, there are flyers, there are bulletins that are released in Oshia, in Oxenford, in Palin, in Wilfodge, across Oshia. Chiari is lagging behind a little bit, both politically, socially, and technology-wise. There is. So they have town criers. There are people whose job it is, Dragonborns in particular, whose job it is to go around and share information. However, that information is very carefully curated for the different audiences that are going to hear it. So certain pieces of news will be delivered to dragons in the upper city. That news will be quite different and in its presentation and content by the time it gets down to the lower city. From the same presenters, it is slightly different of what is presented to the Dragonborn and to the other castes. Deliberately. Control of information is quite strong in Veloxer.
Okay. So I guess that's probably, I don't know where she would kind of be at that stage.
Yeah. You would also know a couple of students who might be worth talking to, but Fuldrad, the one that comes to your mind with your history of 12, that is the person who you think would be a great person to start. She knows a lot of people in the city. She's been teaching for a long time. She talks to the students, has connections to the students. So she's going to hear what's going on amongst the students as well as amongst a lot of the dragons and a lot of the Dragonborn who hold positions of power within the government.
Okay, cool.
As you're sort of finishing up that list, Lockie wanders back past your room, having searched the manor house. So Lockie, with your investigation of 11 plus 4 for your flash of genius, takes you up to 15. You do not find any secret passages. This house is very secret passageless. And one of the things you realize very quickly is that a secret passage would need to be hidden within walls. The walls aren't that thick. They're made of clay and stone, and they are only sort of about 30 centimeters thick all around the building. To hide a secret passage in the walls on the upper floor, very difficult. There are a number of doors you can't get through that are locked or that are inaccessible to you. And when I say doors that are locked, I mean curtains hanging down over and a Dragonborn attendant standing at the front who does not permit you to enter as you approach.
I'm very sorry, sir. You cannot come in here. This area is off limits to guests.
And you will then be very politely directed back towards the guests' quarters.
This is a secret.
No?
Fair enough. That's fine.
No. Okay. Very strange. Goodbye.
Just wander off. As you come back around, having been turned around, you walk past Mira's room and then see Mira in there sitting down, writing on a piece of paper.
Mira sees Lockie. As Lockie's walking to her room, he's tapping on the wall.
The walls are not hollow. I will tell you now. They are solid.
Hello there.
Oh, Lockie. Are you alright? Do you need anything?
No, I've had an oil bath today, which felt wonderful.
Isn't it nice to be in a, I don't know, it's luxury, isn't it?
It's entertaining, that's for sure.
Entertaining?
Well, most of the luxury is not for me, but it's nice to see. Soft things.
Soft things?
Pillows.
Do you like pillows?
I'm indifferent about them. I don't sleep.
Oh. Right, well, have you seen the others?
I saw Yervith tootling around in the garden, but I haven't seen anybody else.
We should find them. I think that we were going to go to the library today, yes?
Oh, yes.
Yes, I'm so excited. Listen, Lockie, I was going to say, one of the things I was going to research is one of the giants' old gods. I've been thinking about your idea.
It's on my mind, too.
Yes, but we have to do it maybe a bit more inconspicuously, you know, because there's competing interests.
Yes, I'm well versed in being inconspicuous.
I look at him. Wearing his armor. He's all oiled up as well.
Yes.
And shiny.
He's very shiny. Yeah. Lockie. Actually, I should say because Lockie, a lot of Lockie's parts are made of a metal alloy that you are very unfamiliar with, that has not rusted or eroded, but parts of him that have been not made of this, so the superfluous things that have been added on later, or that have been repairs made by Lockie, had been rusting and had created a sort of verdigris patina. That is starting to be worn off. I mean, Lockie's had 2 oil baths in 24 hours. He's looking shiny. Like, Lockie is looking good. Shiny and chrome. Shiny. Like a Lockie from a sunken pirate wreck. No, Lockie's looking good. Swab the deck and make it look shiny. So Lockie's looking good. I can't resist. I've got a physical problem. I can't stop myself.
Yes, I meant more speaking, you know, keeping us on the down low.
Like whispering?
Like, no, like we're not saying things. Be discreet.
How about I let you talk?
Okay. Or not talk, in this case. You see? Yeah.
No.
Do you see? No, you don't. Okay. Oh, let's move along then. Okay, let's go and find the others. Did you find anything in this house? It's beautiful, isn't it?
It is disappointingly secret passageless.
Well, we can't all be a sky shut castle, Lockie.
That's true.
You must miss it.
Yes. But look, I've got the airship for now, so it's taking my attention.
You know, we might find another one.
Well, there was rumor of one.
Yes. Locate that too.
It's true.
How do you locate an airship? Do they have like a tracking?
No, usually just look up.
Oh.
Pretty big.
We looked outside.
You don't see an airship, but Mira, you do see a lot of activity. You see a couple of gardeners sort of moving frantically around the side of the house. A lot of activity amongst the people outside. A number of the Dragonborn are sort of looking frantic, whispering to each other and moving away. Clearly agitated.
Something is not right.
Can you still see Yervith out there?
No.
Yervith's not there.
Okay. Well, either he's stealthing, which is possible.
I never see him when he does that.
I know, it's quite fascinating. But if he's stealthing, there's a reason, so maybe we should have a little look.
Okay. All right. We'll make our way.
Yeah, absolutely. As you head downstairs, you can see that there's a fair bit of activity going on downstairs as well. The entrance to the library, the curtain's been pulled aside, and you can see that on a side table just outside the library is a book open, sort of as if it's been chucked down hurriedly and just sort of dropped on a table. The butler, whose name I have briefly forgotten because I am a absolute failure.
Fenrith.
What was it? Fenrith? Was it?
Fenrith.
Pretty
sure that was the Dragonborn butler. Yeah.
Oh, I've got it here. Yeah, Fenrith. Oh my god! Wow, that was an incredible mind blank just there. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so you can see Fenrith there. And as you come down the stairs, Mira, she turns to you.
Mira, it is good to see you. There's been a theft. One of the greenhouses has been broken into.
What? Was that by whom?
We do not know. Greenhouse 3. It's the one that houses a lot of the medicinal plants from our homeworld.
Interesting.
Elia has just gone to meet with your companions, Yervith, Shana, and Jin.
Okay. Yes, we'll go. Can I, on the way, Mira almost absent-mindedly just picks up the book to put it away.
Mira, as you pick up the book, you can see in the middle of the page a very strange sight, grotesque. It's almost like a mask or a drawing of a face, wide open, screaming, eyes wide, this like elongated mouth, but very, sort of stylistic, very almost MC Escher-esque in the appearance of the screaming face, like a melting face. And you can see that the text on the page is discussing liches, and the creation of life, or preserving a soul, moving a soul from one location to another, and a name discussed as well, or a title, I should say. A title called The Devourer of Souls.
Devourer of Souls.
And that's what is listed underneath this picture. I think it would even say Emblem of the Devourer of Souls.
Have I heard that before?
Do you want to make me a religion or history check, Mira?
I mean, sure. All my plus zeros are coming to play tonight.
17.
Pretty good.
You have. You've actually read this book before. It's from Otalia Carnos's library. There's been times where you've been a little bit bored and had a bit of a look around. This is one of the books on magic that discusses, in theory, aspects of magic which dragons are interested in but not pursuing actively. And this one very clearly discussed. It's a very specific warning tome against types of dark magic, or types of magic which can corrupt and can damage the mind, the soul, and the body. And there's a whole chapter dealing with liches, wizards who have grown in power but want to live forever, want to be immortal. And so they separate their souls from their bodies, store them in a location or an object known as a phylactery, and that allows their bodies to live on immortal. And this particular story is of a lich known as Asarak, known as the Devourer of Souls. My man. Yeah. When you read this the first time, the author embellishes a little bit. It's not a historical treatise. This is a warning for wizards or for studies of magic to stay away from certain types of magic. Specifically, it is designed to warn people away. So it doesn't shy away from embellishment of the consequences of becoming a lich. But one of the things you do remember is that when you read through this the first time, there's no historical records of a wizard or a lich ever existing called Asarak. But this story seems to talk as if there is. And that was always a little bit confusing for you.
Is the attendant, butler still there?
Yep.
Okay, I'll just hand it back to him and say, was someone reading this?
She sort of looks at the book and closes it.
I believe your friend, the snake one, Shana?
I look at Lockie. This is a book about necromancy. About the removal of souls from one body into phylacteries, if that makes any sense to you.
Housing for, okay. Oh dear, where did we go wrong?
Well, I mean, it's one option.
It is. Maybe she's thinking about Lyra, though.
That's what I was thinking. She a lich?
I hope not. That would be very awkward. Well, maybe we can ask her.
Yes, where are they? That's a clue. It's a clue.
Okay. It's a clue. Got it.
The butler sort of...
Are there footsteps out of the library, by the way?
What was that, sorry?
Are there footsteps out of the library?
No. Why would there be footsteps?
Because I'm looking for them.
Do you want to make a survival check?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's also looking for footsteps. Well,
10.
if it was Shana, you would be...
No, there's no footsteps. There's this weird, almost line, curvy line that kind of snakes across the wooden floors and out onto the out the side door and out onto the balcony on the side. But you don't know what that is.
It was just
So Shana in the library with a book.
Yes.
Okay.
Using a game of Cluedo.
Wow.
We're going to solve this, Lockie.
Just some mustard.
Wow.
Shana became a lich with a phylactery in the library. The butler leads you through the door and down the garden path, around the side of the house Mira to an area that you've not really explored. You know this house has a cellar. You'd heard it mentioned once or twice. It's where a lot of the gardening supplies are stored, but we're talking long-term stuff. It's very rarely opened and used. You can see that the cellar, which is almost like a storm cellar built into the side of the house, these doors on a bit of an angle are wide open, a sight you're not used to seeing. Normally they're closed and padlocked shut. Wide open, and you can see Elia storming out in the middle of transforming from her dragonborn form, or I should say her half-dragon form, into her full silver dragon form. And as you approach, her wings unfurl and batter down, causing you to fall back as the wind throws you as she takes off into the air, roaring, and begins shooting overhead, heading for the capital, heading for the center of the city.
Well, shit. Maybe we should...
Oh, shit. Rush over.
You head downstairs as Shana, Yervith, and Jin begin sort of exiting this cellar. Jin sort of dusting his hands off. Well, that was dramatic.
What?
Oh.
You finally joined us.
Ah, yes, I was wondering when you do.
Aha!
Who are you pointing at? Who are you pointing at, Lockie?
Shana. Was there solving a mystery? I'm so confused.
Well, no, but I think we're in the process of solving it.
Okay.
Oh, you guys already know.
Yes.
Well,
Joe is just shock horror, full on shock horror. She's like, you're involved?
No.
Inside check.
You may make an insight check.
Shana is giving everyone weird looks, being like, what? I mean, sorry, Yervith, sorry. Yeah.
Lockie, Mira, you don't need to roll 5. Shana, they're hiding something. I was going to say Yervith and Yervith, you don't know what's going on. Lockie and Mira, you don't need to roll anything because that confusion and you looking at each other and being like, no, that's how suspicious you sound. Shana, yeah, they're hiding something. They know something.
Did Fenrith tell you what's happening?
Oh, there's someone stolen something from the greenhouse, but we're.
Yes, I went for a walk this morning and was interested in seeing what they had in their collection. Obviously, being a ranger, being interested in nature, I was curious to see what sort of fauna they could bring from their or flora, so to speak. Sorry, from their homeworld. I went to the greenhouse. One of the gardeners took me there and was going to show me some of their medicinal herbs and powerful stuff. It had been broken into deliberately. I tracked the perpetrators here into this cellar, but they seem to have dug their way and sealed it shut behind us. They used mold earth to cut through the walls here. They seem to have stolen quite powerful medicinal herbs, toxins and poisons, so to speak. And a what is it? Cure-all, I believe, some sort of antitoxin as well.
Mira, that raises your memory. As he says cure-all, you remember that one of the plants that is growing in that greenhouse is a very hard to cultivate plant, said to come from the draconic homeworld, which seems to be able to cure or work as an antitoxin against all known poisons, or almost all known poisons. Very, very powerful. Very unsuccessfully grown on Nostea. A number of other Dragonborn houses and dragon houses have tried unsuccessfully. Many, many times guests would come to Otalia Carnos' estate to take some clippings and try and propagate them. There are only a handful of these plants in existence. As far as you're aware, all of them were in that greenhouse.
They took all of them?
All of it.
Did you already know that? I've got to ask, what were you guys doing last night / this morning? I mean, you were absent. I'm not accusing you of anything, but I mean, the way you guys came down here was awfully suspicious. Like you were doing something that you weren't supposed to be.
You dare asperse our friends here? I don't believe they would have done this.
I don't either, but come on, Yervith, you must admit, when they both came down here, looked at each other, and then said that they had no idea what was going on with... I mean, come on, even Mira is usually a better liar than that.
Jin nods at this and goes, yes, they did look rather shady. Take it from me, I'm an expert.
Now that you mention it, that is rather interesting that they arrived here at this precise time.
Immediately after the tunnels have been collapsed, tunnels that were created using, well, power that's available to sorcerers.
You haven't even told them the best part yet, though.
Do you guys already know?
Oh, Shana, you should show them the piece of paper you found.
I don't have it. Elio flew off with it.
Oh, well, okay. I'll just say it then. Seems like whoever stole the cure-all is targeting the council. They're going to, I think the plan is they're going to poison everyone on the council and then ransom the cure. That seems to be my interpretation of the situation. So that's why Elia was flying away, is in a bit of a huff, as I'm sure you just saw.
It would have to be someone that knows about both the poison and the cure-all, and know that the plant was in the greenhouse, where it was, that it would be unprotected at that particular time.
I mean, Mira, you would know that the fact that these plants are only grown on the estate is fairly common knowledge. Which greenhouse they're in, less common knowledge. Still a number of draconic families would know, those who've come to take clippings and things like that. Slightly less common knowledge. Knowing when it was guarded and unguarded or being able to get past guards, very uncommon knowledge.
Yeah.
I do glance at Shana and go, I do believe it was probably 3 or 4. Hard to tell. Might have been more, might have been less. And there were booted footprints. I don't know if it was...
Actually, no, true. Yeah, Mira, you don't wear boots. Nor does Lockie.
I do not wear shoes now.
You hear Lockie's, like, one of Lockie's, like, internal buzzes goes off as he's like, yes, I don't wear boots. This is my don't wear boots jingle.
I apologize. Not at all.
So, yes, we have a bit of a situation.
That is quite the situation. I assume Elliot's gone to warn the council.
I would assume so, considering the implications with that, considering her own mother is on the council.
Yes.
Yeah, you just don't remember the last thing she said was, fuck, and then took off.
But did they sign it? Do we know which organisation is doing this? Or?
The Equalists.
The what?
Remember, it was partially signed, Yervith.
Oh,
It was. I mean, the note was somewhat incomplete, but there were enough words that we could make out that.
I didn't see the signature, but yes, I suppose it was.
Have you heard of the Equalists before, Mira? Do you know anything about them, or maybe they're new?
Mira, you have heard of the Equalists before. She says that name. And for the context as well, the Equalists were mentioned. Our Equalist brethren was part of the scrap of note. So it was a torn section note that had fragments of text on it, and one of the fragments of sentences was our Equalist brethren. Mira, you've heard of the Equalists. It's a group of Dragonborn in the city, mostly a combination of students and minor Dragonborn houses who are fighting for the caste system to be overturned, fighting for representation in the council, fighting for their rights. Very peaceful organization. Mainly students and minor diplomats.
And I'll tell that to everyone. I'm just like, that makes no sense.
It does not.
Unless they've become radicalized as well in all of this turmoil.
That very well may be the case.
Or they're being set up as a puppet organisation. I think it doesn't make sense that the cultists would want this. They want to take over the council. This seems a bit of a splinter.
Destabilizing the council would make it much easier for them to maybe swoop in and install people that are more sympathetic or more able to be controlled by the mask.
That is true.
Also, there's people on the council that know quite a lot at the moment. So, any taking them out would seriously hurt the war effort, just quietly.
I mean, you said it yourself, the council's been around for a very long time. Hard to change their minds about many things. It seems like a brutally simple way of doing it, just getting rid of them.
And then
potentially forcing them out, yeah.
And blaming the Equalists will just reinforce the caste system and the hierarchy even further if they were blamed. There would be absolutely no free representation.
It would unite them all under a common goal rather than the infighting where half of them are fighting for the remains of the current system. Everyone else is fighting against the cult. If they're united against a common enemy, well, you've seen how effective that can be.
Perhaps we should walk and talk. I don't think we're going to get to the library today, Lockie.
That's fine. Library can wait.
Surely there are clues, though.
I mean, you're more than welcome to have a look. I did track them down to the end of the dirt path. I couldn't find much more than what I've already told you. I mean, you're happy to look. An extra set of eyes would be useful.
No, Shana. I trust you. No.
I trust you too?
Wow, that's nice.
That's nice.
So.
Yeah, Yervith's just going to be like, what's going on? What's happening? But yeah.
So.
I mean, I look at the room and might reveal something that wasn't seen before, but if time is an issue to get a move, we should probably get a move on.
Well, they've already threatened, so I assume their plan's already in motion.
I mean, they've got the cure-all, so I don't see why not. It depends how quick they are and how organized they are. They might have already enacted the plan, or they might be in the process of. What do we know about what's happening with the council today? Mira, do you know if they're in attendance or what the plans are?
I was going to ask Ilya.
Yeah. Maybe one of her attendants might know. Might be worth an ask.
Yervith, your passive perception would be 15 or higher, wouldn't it?
Definitely, yep.
You hear the sounds of gruff voices calling out from around the side of the house, towards the front of the house where the front gate is. You can see you can see sort of a couple of the attendants sort of looking up, some of the gardeners looking up and sort of looking a bit afraid and beginning to move away around the side of the house, away from the front of the house. The butler sort of like notices this too, pauses and goes,
I will be a moment. I will see what this is. Stay here. I will be right back.
She begins walking away.
I kind of want to follow her, even though she told me to wait.
Yeah, you can follow. Of course you can.
Yeah.
What are the rest of you doing? Are you staying put or are you going to follow Yervith and the...
I think Shana would probably originally try and stop Yervith in the sense that she's like, we've been requested that we stay here. And then seeing that there is no convincing him, she's like, oh, I guess I'm going to come with you.
Can we Scooby-Doo the situation? Can we
Yeah, you can all Scooby-Doo. Creep along. Alrighty, perfect. As the five of you, because Jin is still with you at this point, as the five of you begin moving around the side of the house, as you come within view of the front gate, you can see a large contingent of the Draconic Guard. Groups of Dragonborn dressed in resplendent armor, wielding long spears with these curved, almost like teardrop-shaped blades at the top, shouting angrily. And you watch as one of the ones in front, Frondrith the butler, sort of storms up towards them, begins sort of... You can't quite make out what they're saying from this distance, begins shouting back and pointing angrily towards the gate. All of a sudden, the guard in front lowers his spear and rams it through her chest. She sort of looks down, clutching at the shaft as she stumbles backwards before he pulls it free, stabs her through again on the other side. She drops down to her knees, and as she falls, her face turns towards you. You see the other soldiers begin pushing through the gates, storming the grounds of the manor. What do you find?
Can she immediately shout, like, what is the meaning of this, and then cast a healing word if I've got time on to try and save her?
Yeah, roll me that healing word. And what's the range of that healing word as well? I think you have to be within...
60 feet.
60 feet. Oh, let me have a quick look at my little map of the manor.
Whoa.
Oh, Shana, I'm so sorry. She's a little bit further away. She's at the front gate. It's about 60 feet from the front gate to the manor. You guys are another 40, 50 feet around the side. It's pretty far away. You would know this. You don't have to spend the spell slot. You would know that you are very far away.
I think we should run. I think we should actually run.
Run?
I think we need to run.
Shana, all right, in that case, Shana is going to greater invisibility and then try and get close enough to heal her. Like, she's not going to leave her.
Ooh.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw you into initiative because it sounds like things are going to happen. I'm going to throw you into initiative.
I wasn't expecting this. Holy shit.
Please.
Okay.
Please roll me initiative, and I will. I'll change the music.
Yeah, it's going to look very confused at Mira and be like, "We doing this? we throwing hands?"
No, I'm not going to engage. I just wish to at least save her life.
Yeah. Okay.
If you can.
You only have to get 50 feet closer, Shana. You'll be fine.
But I mean, how many other NPCs are there? Like
at this point,
or attendants?
At this point, 10 of the soldiers have poured through the gate. You can see more behind them.
How small is the gate?
Like the gate's pretty large. It's to allow dragons and carts through.
Okay, but feet wise, how?
Feet wise, it's about 25 feet wide, 30 feet wide. It's fairly large.
Cool.
The gates themselves are sort of 10, 15 feet across and 20 feet high to match the walls.
That's fine.
Cool.
No, I haven't rolled yet. Yeah, or have I? I can't remember.
Alright, so 14 for Lockie. I'll just change that on my screen.
Oh wait, I didn't roll with advantage.
That's okay. Roll with advantage. Mira 11.
Oh no.
Nice work.
I will roll for Jin.
I'm 15.
Oh, Jin. 12. Shana,
Is there
6.
a map for this?
There is not a battle map for this. Sorry, guys.
Oh, okay. No, that's
Sorry.
cool. I'll theater of the mind it.
I'll just get Jin on the thing. Here we go. We're going to theater of the mind this. So, Yervith, you are first. So, Shana, we will get to your turn. But, Yervith, you're up first. The gardener, the green Dragonborn who'd been with you before the gardening, she sort of sees this force coming in, sees Frondrith gets stabbed through. Goes, no! We have to run now! To the Storm Cellar, quick! And she begins running towards the Storm Cellar. She's a full movement to run there.
Yervith is... what's he gonna do? It's really interesting. I don't know if he'd want to... He doesn't really want to... He's hesitant to engage with the guards. So he's probably just going to... Yeah, I think he'll just sort of... He'll stealth up behind... Is there like any columns or any sort of like pillars or anything at the front of this manor that he could like hide behind?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So the whole bottom section is a series of archways that you could easily try and hide behind, 100%.
So he is probably going to move his movement like closer to get into a position where he could like maybe support Shana if she was going to go make a run for the person who just got stabbed.
Yep.
He'll probably just make... he's going to ready an action just to shoot some arrows at them. Probably... I mean, I don't know if he has blunted arrows, but he doesn't want to do it in a lethal way. He just wants to do it in like a...
Oh, there's points you can aim at on the Dragonborn body that won't...
He's going to aim at non-lethal spots. Like he doesn't want to aim to kill.
Yep.
He's just going to try and like fend them off or like deter them, I suppose.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
Yervith, awesome. Next up is not Lockie. Next up with a 15. Yep, sorry. With a 15 is the Draconic Guard. The man, the Dragonborn, this black Dragonborn who stabbed Frondrith through with his spear, begins running forward and shouting orders to the rest of them.
Gather up the servants, find any of the guests that were here, and kill them now.
Whoa!
Yep.
Different plan.
Okay! Non-lethal is going to lethal now!
He begins heading towards the manor house, having not spotted you guys yet as you are around the corner. Lockie.
Holy shit.
Okay, so the gate, the 25-foot gate, how many of them are through or coming through?
20 of them have come, 10 of them have come through. There's 10 more behind who are, because that you can see, so trying to push through.
Can I get how many can I get in a 30-foot cube?
Let's have a quick look here. So, 5, 10, 15, 20. I mean, as they come through the gate, you could easily get 12, 13 of them, 100%.
Fantastic. So Lockie's going to just sort of like come around the corner a little bit, and the center of his the cube in his center is going to spin up, and each of the elements is going to pop out a different color, and they're going to race out there and start swirling around in different combinations of tastes.
In a hypnotic pattern, one might say. Nice. I need to roll. Is it wisdom
16,
or charisma? I think it's
16 wisdom. 16
wisdom. I will roll for the draconic. I'm going to roll them in blocks of 3. That's a fail. That's a fail. That's a fail. That's a fail. The highest I rolled was 14. So I did them in 4 blocks of 3 each. So that's 12 of them. 12 of them, the ones that are trying to push through the gate behind the main group, immediately sort of stop and stare as these dazzling colors begin shooting around, making this pattern in front of them. You watch as their grip on their weapons goes somewhat slack and they fall down beside their sides. The ones in front, the 8 more who've come through, plus the commander, sort of look back and see this pattern.
They're here somewhere. Kill the spellcaster first.
Well, if you wanted to find a better place, now's the time to do it.
Lockie. You still got bonus action if you'd like to take it.
I will just bonus action for my extra 8. Yeah, and I'll duck around back around the corner as well.
Yep.
And then bonus action for the
Alrighty. Jin is going to spend his action to disguise himself as one of the Draconic Guards. He's going to take on the form of a Dragonborn, and he's going to sort of pull out of his pack some robes and things to try and look more like a Dragonborn. Well, I'm at least going to be safe from being killed. He tucks on his robe. Time to skedaddle, and he begins heading towards the storm cellar.
Always the optimist.
That is Jin's go. Mira.
Okay. How far away is the butler from us?
She is 60 feet from the house, 40 feet around the corner from you guys, so about 80 feet total away from you.
And the guards are 10, 5 feet.
So the ones who are stuck at the gate are about 100 feet away from you, because she was 20 feet away when they stepped. So the hypnotic pattern's 100 feet away from where you guys are now. The rest of the guards are within 70 to 40 feet away from you as they've approached the manor house.
I'll look at Shana and I'll be like, I will go with you if you want to save her.
I'm going to make myself invisible.
Get us in there and get us out quickly.
I'll do what you think's best.
I'll hold out my hand.
Yep.
The red one.
Yep.
And I'll prepare Dimension Door.
Yep.
Take Shana with me.
Shana's go next. You could just Dimension Door her there now. It is her go next, just so you know.
Oh, it's her go next?
It's her go next.
We go.
Okay.
And Dimension Door, before, it's like this kind of fiery rift in space that kind of crystallizes with ice around and splits open, and they walk through.
So yeah, you watch as Mira summons these flames from her hand and paints a doorway in the space in front of her, and this fiery track is left behind her, splintering reality in the gaps with these shards of ice that then start roiling backwards and pulling open as this rift is created. You watch, Shana, you see above the body of the Dragonborn butler Frondrith, this rift, again, this fiery rift opening, cracking open as reality is shattered by this spell. Mira grabs you around the collar and then pulls you through, and you watch as this door slams shut behind you. For a few brief seconds, sorry, let me try that again. I'll cut this. For a few brief seconds, you feel weightless, cold and hot, burning on equal parts, before you suddenly back through reality, appearing in front of the butler who's on the ground. You can see she is still alive, but is very, very hurt, having been stabbed twice by this spear. Mira, you have a bonus action and movement if you'd like to take it.
Bonus action. I'll just might get some my spell slots back, please.
Yep, absolutely. Just sorcery spell slot back. You then watch as Mira sort of closes her eyes and concentrates for a few seconds. The light from the dimension door going back into her hand as she reclaims the spell slot using her sorcery points.
And I'm ready to go again with that spell.
On your turn, yeah, absolutely. Shana, it is your go.
I have to ask for a definition.
Yes.
Which is, what do you count as carrying? Like, does it have to be like completely off the ground, or can it just be something that she's like physically holding on to?
Greater invisibility is written with a very specific intent in mind.
Yeah.
Does it say items you are carrying or objects you are carrying?
Anything.
Anything you are carrying.
Anything the target is wearing or carrying. And which is why I want to know what the definition of carrying is.
Carrying is something that you are you are supporting the weight of. Carrying, I would say you are 100% supporting the weight of. So that would mean that it cannot be touching the ground by that definition. You are supporting 100% of the mass.
All right, my strength -1 ain't gonna do that.
Yay, sorcerers!
Yay!
I'm a sorcerer barbarian. I would like to nerd rage, please. It's a fun character right there. For podcast listeners, I pulled a very funny face. It's times like this you should watch the YouTube.
Right, so I'm definitely going to bonus action 3rd level healing word on her. Try and save her.
Yeah, roll me some HPs as you sort of.
Oh, what the fuck, dice gods!
10 HP. As you reach down and call out to her, casting this magic, you watch as Shana's words crystallize in the air in this light that then falls down upon her, almost like falling like sparkles of snow, as she sort of breathes in a big breath as the pierced lung knits itself back together again, and she can breathe once more. She sort of opens her eyes that are partly started to go cloudy as she was dying. Light shining back within them once more, looks up and goes, "You need to get out of here. You cannot be here." As she looks up at you two.
No man left behind. Or dragon, or woman in this case.
Nice.
And then. So I'm assuming like we're pretty much standing like right up against those guards now. Eh?
So you are right up against the ones who are dazzled by the hypnotic pattern. The other ones are only about 20 feet in front of you, 10 feet in front of you, and they are. So as this dimension door is cast, it's not the sneakiest, most subtle of spells. And Healing Word is a verbal spell. As you go and shout this healing word to bring her back to life. A number of the guards turn around. You see the commander sort of spins and looks back and goes, "Seems they've come to us, boys. Take them out now. But not the dichromat. We need her."
Oh no. Wow. They're everywhere. Ah!
Oh no, how am I gonna do it?
Do it!
Shana, you still have a bonus action of movement if you'd like to take it.
Shit.
Quick and that shit.
Okay, she's gonna do it. She's gonna pull up Fondrith, like, just sort of like try and get her under the arm. Or at least like just like have her really, really close, like within grabbing distance kind of thing. She's going to reach out with a hand and grab Mira and go, "You clearly need her alive. Don't come any closer."
What?
And then with what you can, start taking as many like steps backwards with both of them as she can.
5 feet backwards, and then you're up against the hypnotic pattern.
Or in a direction
Sideways.
that's like where there
Sideways
was
is
not like
good.
an escape,
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Can you please roll me an intimidation check?
Intimidation.
Yikes.
I certainly can. Do I have any advantage for this?
You do not, but you do roll, and I have taken into account what you said as part of the DC.
That's hectic.
23.
23. Scary snick.
I am going to pause initiative here very briefly, unless there's anything Yervith would be doing or Lockie would be doing. Just before this sort of happens, just because I'll tell you what, I'll do the little bit of talking that would happen, and then I'll pause initiative at that point, and then you can tell me what you want to do, because your characters would still have the end of this turn to sort of figure out. Shana, as you are trying to pull Frondrith and also hold Mira in a way that looks like you are trying to kill her, your movement speed is halved. That is fair. As you move 15, you slither 15 feet backwards, like your tail sort of trying to like pull yourself. Actually, I don't think snakes can slither backwards. I actually don't think it'd be possible. Right? Like, it wouldn't be. So you're like trying to like move yourself sideways while still trying to keep Frondrith, and also like hold Mira in a threatening way with like your hand on her neck or something like that.
According to Google, yes, they can.
They can. Okay. I apologize.
They slither as a snake name because it can go sideways.
Yeah, they can slither sideways. Yeah, so you're sort of like slithering sideways.
Sidewinder? Yeah.
Sidewinder. Yeah. You're slithering sideways, Shana, trying to like get them away, but your movement speed is still halved as you were trying to carry Frondrith.
Yeah.
Actually, can I have a strength check to see how successful you are at carrying Frondrith? Your movement speed might be 0 for this. Let's have a look. You thought you got away with that too, didn't you? 18. No, you absolutely. Shana is running on adrenaline right now. You watch Shana as you grab her and begin pulling her sideways, and then you're in a moment of inspiration, you're like, I can kill Mira. Hand around the neck. Yeah. The captain, this captain of the guard who sees you do this, as the other soldiers go to begin charging towards to stab you, he goes, "Stop! All of you hold. Stop right there. You cannot. You would not kill her. She's your companion, your friend. There is no way." Yes, you do technically have an action. I just wanted to let you know what he said so that you got the context.
And I would have said that there is no way that the guards would take down one of their own. Are you working for Is it the Children of the Dragon that they're calling themselves here?
Children of Tiamat, you've heard it.
Are you working for the Children of Tiamat or with another interested party?
Children of Tiamat, what nonsense is this? Otalia Karnos is accused of poisoning the elders through her contact Bacchus, the batch of wine presented to the councillors this morning.
Oh, fuck.
Absurd. There was you are aware of the break-in, yes? That...
How convenient. The only cure available has gone missing the same day the councillors are poisoned.
And that she flew to go try and save them.
She has been apprehended, attempting to take control of the council. I have been sent here to arrest all members of the conspiring party and kill the interlopers who dared violate our laws by spending the night in the city.
Then why do you need Mira alive?
She must answer for what her mistress has done.
You're so concerned about someone who is supposedly a criminal.
I have orders, not concerns. I have been told to bring in the Dichromat, alive and unharmed.
And should you fail, what will become of you then?
I'll be stripped of my rank and title.
Well
That
then,
will
you
not
might
happen.
best not come any closer.
I reckon that's full turn there. Shana, is there anything you were planning to do with your action, or is threatening...
Just trying to back up her intimidation, you know, have a action ready to follow through if she needs to.
Cool. Alrighty. Yervith, is there anything you'd be doing while this is happening? I should keep us in initiative.
Yeah, I was going to say, has Yervith been detected at all? He's kind of just...
Not that you're aware of.
All right.
I would say right now, Yervith, this is pretty distracting. The hypnotic pattern has taken out a number of the guards. This now evolving hostage situation is taking the focus away from the manor house and the staff, and you see that a number of the Dragonborn attendants are fleeing the manor. It looks like this has actually provided a pretty welcome
good
distraction.
I kind of glance at the situation. I see the standoff. I'm not sure what to do. I look at Shana. I'm like, what's going on? And then I'm like, are we making a break for it? I don't know. He is, just in case we do decide we're gonna run. I think he's gonna do it. Yeah, he's gonna cast. He's gonna get closer, sneak, and get a bit closer to where everyone is, trying to remain behind cover as he does. And he's gonna cast Pass Without a Trace on everyone.
Could I get you to roll a stealth check first?
100%.
What's the range on Pass Without Trace?
30 feet.
30 feet. So it has to be pretty close to everyone else.
So you can get Lockie and Jin.
Yeah.
Or you can go to where Mira and Lyra and Frondrith are, which is about 80 feet away.
Oh, fuck.
70 feet away after Shana's movement.
He's gonna go for...
Would you want to hold it as an action? You did see Mira do that trick before with the magic.
Yeah, he's going to hold it as an action just in case we decide to book it and we need to have a stealthy escape.
Awesome. So I'm assuming a trigger then will be once if everyone's within range, you're going to cast it. Boom.
Yeah, he's going to get into a position where if they were to move back, he would be in range to do it. Yeah.
So you guys are on the side of the manor house. This is all happening at the front. You're round the side, and the storm cellar is just behind you. It's only sort of 20, 30 feet away from where you are now.
Okay, cool. So, I think the trigger would be if they move back towards where the storm cellar is, he'll cast Pass Without a Trace, and then we'll escape. If that is what they decide to do.
That's a great held action. Any movement or bonus action, or just the held action?
Just the held action, but he would be just positioning himself in such a way that he would be able to, I guess, make a quick escape if need be, and just keeping an eye on the situation. Yeah.
The Black Dragonborn commander strides forward to the front of the soldiers, holding out his hand in a raised position. Before lowering it, you see the soldiers lower their spears and hold them at the ready. As he moves towards the front of the group, he gets to about 40 feet away from you, Shana, and Mira, and Frondrith, and looks. This black dragonborn form, you can see that his horns are being carved into these wicked sharp points, curled back and pushed forwards up the top so that he could easily use his horns as a weapon. His armor is resplendent, beautiful, carved in this very etched, almost acid-etched silver. and underneath you can see that his clothes are blood red. As he strides to the front, slams his spear into the ground next to him, and he looks at you.
I do not believe you would kill your companion. I do believe that you would risk your life for her. I think you're stalling.
Stalling for what? We have no help coming.
It does not matter. My master will be here soon. I was merely sent ahead to try and gather up the recruits as quickly as I could.
Oh, Jin, is that you coming in?
Oh,
Jared.
Jared!
What?
Oh, mate. Oh, mate. Jared, I'll have to bring you in. Some shit has gone down.
Some shit has fucking gone.
Quickly
because
for
of my mother's birthday.
No, all good, man.
right.
Quickly, so Jared can catch up to speed. Oh, fucking hell. Like, how do I explain what's just happened?
Let's describe the scene right now.
Okay, so the scene right now, Jared, is as you look across. So Jin is currently stood near the Storm Cellar entrance. You can see a group... Storm Cellar entrance. A group of 8 Dragonborn guards have stormed the grounds of the manor. Another 12 are currently caught up in a hypnotic pattern that has been cast by... Was that Lockie? Yeah, Lockie cast hypnotic pattern. The captain drove his spear through the chest of Frondrith, the butler, before striding through the gates and announcing quite loudly to capture the Dragonborn, kill the guests, or kill the others. Then Shana and Mira have dimension doored over to the butler and have healed her. Shana now has her hands on the back of Mira's neck and has threatened to kill Mira unless the guards stand down. You can see
because
that
the guards want Mira alive.
They've said we need to keep the dichromat alive. So
But the rest of us can die.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he has also announced that.
Do we have another map for this, or is this all theory?
Theater of the mind.
Okay.
Theater of the mind. So what you've also heard the captain of the guard announce is that Elia has been arrested for treason for poisoning the council. Bacchus's wine, a cask of Bacchus's poisoned wine has been given to the council, and they are now poisoned. She's been arrested for that, having apparently tried to take control of the council. The Dragonborn have been sent to arrest and take control of the estate, and to capture the Dragonborn and kill the interlopers who flaunted their rules. And
when I was last session, we ended on a pretty high note, but nothing had really went down yet.
It's escalated.
It escalated quickly.
Have I been doing anything? Have I just sort of been around the party?
So you've only had one turn. Your turn consisted of seeing the shit go down and being well, I think it's time to make our getaway, and moving back around the corner so you can't be seen, and transforming into one of the draconic forms to look like the guards so that you are less of a target.
Okay. I'm going to cast really quick Disguise Self on myself to copy their armor.
In that case, then, rather than transforming, you cast Disguise Self to transform yourself to look like theirs. So
I have a scar on my face. Remember that was our last session? That was our make me look a little, to point me out.
So you have a scar across your snout and down towards your lower jaw. So you guys watch as so that happened before Mira dimension doored over to Frondrith the butler. So you all watch Jin transform around the corner where only you can see him.
Can you get the initiative? Oh.
Yeah,
he's in there. Yeah, he's there.
Okay.
I roll for Jin, and I've been playing as Jin. Alrighty, so we'll jump back to the captain of the guard. As he slams the spear down, looks towards Shana.
I don't believe you'd kill your companion. I think you're bluffing.
Only one way to find out then, isn't there? Are
What do
you
you hope to
really
gain
so
by this?
keen to lose your role? I want to live. Duh. And Mira is my way out of here, quite frankly.
This is so tense.
I've been given orders to kill all those who broke our laws during the night and stayed within the city limits. I do not agree with these orders. Perhaps I could arrest you instead. Take you prisoner, take you back to the council. Let them decide what to do with you.
Considering what you've done to the Frondrith, who was only doing her job.
She was given a direct order to stand aside for the guard. She
and you were given
disobeyed.
a direct order to kill everyone and take Mira into custody alive. If you didn't want to do it, then you could have arrested her, but seeing that precedent, I doubt you're a man of your word.
You have a bargaining chip, I want.
Okay, really sorry to break this right now. Where is the party right now?
So-
is everyone all sort of in this area?
Lockie, Yervith, and Jin, you are around the corner of the manor house, near the storm cellar,
Okay.
out of sight of the group of guards.
Okay,
Mira and
okay.
Shana are in full view at the front gate, having dimension doored to the butler.
Okay.
The guards are now all very much distracted, focusing on this happening. It's about 80 feet away from you at this point, this sort of conversation
and the
going
hypnotic
down.
pattern also went off from Lockie, who, how many
That's
have been
100 feet
affected
away.
by
That's
that?
captured 12 of them. There are 12 of them who are just like looking at this hypnotic
That's-
pattern, completely and
that's
utterly
really
bedazzled.
good.
Huge.
He caught them as they were coming through the gate. It was really well done.
That's really good.
Yeah.
It's a great spell.
It was a great spell.
Very good stuff.
You watch Shana as he lowers his spear and reaches inside his pocket and pulls out a black stone. He grips it tightly and you watch as it begins to glow. And he puts it back away again.
Fine. We'll find out if you're bluffing or not shortly.
We just kind of like.
You hear a roar from across the city echoing through the streets.
Oh, no. Okay.
Jin, your turn. No, sorry, Lockie,
my
sorry,
turn.
Lockie. No,
Oh,
Lockie.
thank God. It wasn't ready. I don't know what to do.
Go.
Okay, what Lockie's going to do is well, as soon as he casts his thing, he's just been like frantically tinkering with something in his hand. He's going to hold his action to cast a spell, and the trigger is going to be if. Can I do a couple of triggers? Like if the Captain of the Guard orders an attack, or if he's assuming that Mira's going to do the same thing she did before. So if Mira's spell doesn't work for some reason, then he'll cast his.
So you can do one of those with held action. Has to be pretty specific with the trigger. I would say in this case, if you wanted to say if Mira's life looks to be in danger, that kind of encompasses both those scenarios, right? Would that be fair?
Yeah.
Okay, so if it looks like Mira and Shana are going to be attacked, your thing will get triggered.
Cool.
Does that work?
Yep.
Cool.
Perfect.
Beautiful. Jin, you see Yervith muttering under his breath, getting ready to cast a spell. And I think did you say anything before that about? I think you did say something about like getting ready to hide or getting ready to escape.
Yeah, Yervith is kind of just trying to assess the situation, and he's like, "Oh, are we running? Are we staying?"
Also, obviously, visibly terrified, apparently.
Yeah. At the mention of being arrested, Yervith just looks white. You notice that he's not wearing his full like sleeved like sort of tunic. His arms are exposed for the first time, and you see like scars, brands, history of his past.
Hold on, brands. Oh wow, okay.
Like a history of his past, like just visibly, because he's feeling more confident. He was feeling more confident in the manor, under Alia's sort of care, and trying to reconnect with his past. He was being a bit more confident, and now at the mention of being arrested, he is terrified.
And you know what? And the thing is, as well, this is not like the forest. This is the cityscape.
No, he's stressing. He's very stressed.
I smack him.
Okay.
Get yourself together, man.
I'm sorry. I just.
So where is your Drake right now?
Next to him.
Next to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, because I'm a Dragonborn now. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to slip in the back where the Dragonborn are, the guards.
You're gonna have to run around the entire house.
As far as I understand it, Manor House is here, right?
Yep.
Okay.
The gates here. The action's here.
Oh, there's a yellow, there's a green.
We're next to the.
You're on the side, yeah. So imagine the front of the house is the elongated side. So it's a rectangle. The house, all of this action taking place in the front of the rectangle. You're around the corner on the left-hand side. You would have to run around the entire circumference of the house to get there in time, like to get there.
Shit.
It's going to take a little bit of time.
So if we peek around the corner, can we even see them?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can see all of this happening around the corner. Absolutely.
And how far away is it when I peek around the corner then? Like
so Shana and Mira and Frondrith are currently 70 feet away from you. The guards are between 70 and 50 feet away from you at this point.
Are they all looking over there?
Oh, they're all very much focused on this, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm at least going to go 30 feet closer. I'm going to give Lockie and Yervith the
So I'll let you know now, 30 feet is going to bring you out into the open. At the moment, you guys are hidden behind the corner of the house and the garden beds. If you move out, you're going to be within 10 feet of moving out. You are now in open area. It's going to be very hard to hide, just so you know.
But I'm going to hide in plain sight because I'm going to pretend to be a Dragonborn guard.
Okay.
I've used Disguise Self to copy their armor.
Okay.
So for all intents and purposes, I am just one of the guards that are there to apprehend everybody.
Yeah. Could you make me a performance check as you begin striding
to pass off as someone else?
Yes. Although not specifically, you're not passing off as a specific person, you're just doing a performance check to look like a guard.
My active feat might come into play. You have advantage on deception performance checks when trying to pass yourself off as a different person.
Yep, I'd say then active feat gets triggered. Absolutely.
Cool, because I don't really get to use that too often. So
it's a good one.
I built a whole character around active feat and Mask of Many Faces. It's awesome.
It was meant to be 23.
23. It's meant to be 23.
Okay, yes, I'm going to stride out there with a bit of purpose. Like I'm looking around, scanning as if I'm like scanning for potential. Like I'm going to be looking as if I'm looking around for, prisoners to take and stuff. Like I'm trying to emulate the guards. I'm just basically getting myself closer so Shana and Mira can have some support.
So I will let you know now that Mira, to get to where she was, created a little bit of fire in her hands and began painting this sort of crack in reality that caused the area in front of you to shatter, and she pulled Shana through and dimension doored to the butler.
Okay. Cool, that's normal.
I think that's important information for you to have.
That's really important, actually.
Yeah.
So that space is now sort of like fragmented.
It's gone. So as soon as she cast Dimension Door, the spell faded as soon as she stepped through. So that's now disappeared. But you can see, I would say at this point, because Mira's turns next, you can see Mira's already beginning to summon the magic again, would be fair to say, right? Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to sidestep that.
Yep.
And go around that. So I'm going to use as much movement as I can, really, to get closer. How many guards are actually still awake?
Eight guards, and then the commander.
Okay.
Or captain, I should say.
If I dash, will I be within I'll be like at the back of the group.
So yeah, so you can definitely dash and be up with the guards. Absolutely, of course you can.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. Oh, okay. Actually, sorry. Before I even do that, it makes no sense giving Bardic Inspiration to Mira or Shana because that'd be so obvious. But I will. Can I retcon a little bit? Can I give Bardic Inspiration to... when I said to Yervith I smacked him and said, shape up, I'll give Bardic Inspiration to Yervith in that.
Hey!
Okay. All right, Yervith, you get a Bardic Inspiration.
10 minutes.
So, Jin, can I just confirm, Jin, you're going to run up to the guards and try and pretend to be one of them?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
With 23 performance.
You watch as Jin runs up towards the guards. I couldn't find any more of them, so I had to look around. Bluffing around. Yeah.
That's my bonus action done. That's my main action.
One of the guards next to you sort of like pushes you. Silence.
Oh, I sort of apologize and I sort of bow a little bit and I fall sort of behind the pack.
Okay. Mira. Tis your turn.
Just how far away are we? Because I thought we were like 90
So you're 70 feet away. The guards are about 10. So the captain of the guard is only sort of 30 feet away from you. You're 80 feet, 70 feet away from the rest of the party from around the corner. So they're about 40 feet away from the party, the guards. So they're about 30 feet, 40 feet away from you, 30 feet, 40 feet away from the rest of the party. So you're separated by 70, 80 feet.
From the house. From the party. What party? Which party are we talking?
The rest of them, Yervith, Jin, and Lockie.
But I'm a lot closer now.
Yeah, so you've seen a Dragonborn with a scar on his face run up from around the corner. Yeah.
I hope you remember. I don't know if she was wearing a
Yeah.
I remember.
In the heat of the moment, though, I doubt you'd actually know this.
Okay. So I can't really do Dimensional because we've got our extra. So I can't take them. So instead, yeah, we got to run. I'm just going to just a burst of cold energy from it. I'm going to cast Rhymes Binding Ice.
Ooh, okay.
Whoa.
I believe I make a dex save.
No idea what that spell is.
Constitution.
I have no. Is that a Fizzband spell?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Mira, describe the spell for us.
All right. So this is a 30-foot cone of like this radiant ice just bursts from Mira's like mouth because it's draconic.
I'll tell you now, Mira, if you cast it from where you are, you'll catch 2 or 3 of them. If you ran up 20 feet, you could potentially capture almost all of the remaining 8.
Except
Yeah.
I have distance spell.
Okay, nice. Nice.
Double my range.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Does that work on area of effect spells?
Yeah, so it's I've never used this. I'm very excited. Distance spell. When you cast a spell that has a range of 5 feet or greater, you can spell 1 sorcery point to double the range. When you have the range of touch, spend 1 to double it to 30 feet. So it's got a range of 30 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That makes sense from what I'm reading. I can't see anything there that makes me question that. Cusp off range photographs. Yeah. Nope. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You're good to go. I will make some Constitution saves. That is a 14. I'm guessing that's a fail.
Nope. 17's the DC.
17's the DC, so that is a fail. That's a fail. That's a fail. That's a fail.
Oh no!
It's a fail.
What does this spell do?
What? What is going to happen?
The highest I rolled was a 15.
Terrible. Oh, it's not bad. But
Not bad, but not good enough.
Nice.
not bad enough.
Crazy.
Oh my god. Okay, so talk me through the spell. What does this look like when you cast it?
So this burst of ice that's just enormous.
23 from 3d8?
3d8 damage.
Oh wow! 8 was 7.
8, 8, 7.
So basically, it just looks like a whole like sheet of ice just rises over the top of them, and they just get caught in this blast. And all of them, their speed is reduced to 0.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I was going to say, so this encounter that I have is a hard encounter. You guys have you have rolled very well tonight, and I've rolled very poorly. You watch as Mira, this blue energy sort of coalescing as you summon this ice and then slam your fist down. Ice explodes, cracking the ground, pushing the grass aside, spearing through as this cold blast shoots from you. And just as it reaches that 30 feet point, you watch as this glint appears in Mira's Erzat's eye, the artificial eye, and the color changes to this blistering, blinding blue-white. And the spell continues, this power pulsing out as it pushes even further. Shards of ice begin spearing into these soldiers as they are helpless before this blast of ice.
Shit.
You watch as they are thrown back, taking 23 damage each. On 3d8, you roll 2 8s and a 7.
Oh,
crazy. That's a lot of damage.
all these enemies are hindered by ice formations for 1 minute.
Yes.
Or until it or another creature
Jin,
can use their actions.
I also need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
So, I did position myself at the back of the party. Am I within range?
Yes, you are. 60 feet,
Oh, well.
she's made that. You are well within range.
Oh, it has to happen.
Claire thought she'd gotten away with that. She thought I hadn't remembered. 7.
I got hit.
You watch
Oh no!
as this blast through, Jin, you just watch as the soldiers are thrown back and frozen. As this begins like tumbling towards you, there's this moment where you're like, oh shit, maybe I should have stayed right.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
As you take 23 points of cold damage.
Yikes! Oh no!
No, that's fine. That's fine.
That's fine, okay. And your speed is reduced to 0.
I have an idea for this.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I do too, you're right.
I'm gonna run though. I'm gonna turn to Shana, and her just eyes are like bright blue.
So
Like, I suggest we run.
be aware that because I've been hit with them all, they won't suspect that I'm
No,
part
exactly.
of the party.
It's very true.
I'm gonna now try and infiltrate their ranks and find out information.
Okay.
Oh!
That is one way of getting into a party. Just be like,
I'm frozen with you too, guys.
Oh, fellow soldier! What a terrible
Hit me
spell.
as well.
Yeah. Alrighty, Mira. You do your 30-foot running as you just go. Like,
oh no, I can't. Never mind.
no.
Fine.
Because you've done bonus action to distance spell it, so yeah, you just begin like running towards the side of the house. Yep, Mira, that's your full turn. Shana, as you have healed, the butler, she's sort of like pulling herself to her feet and is able to move. I will just have her move with you, if you.
Yep. So Shana's going to, try and get her back on her feet,
Yep.
like point her in the direction and be like, "Fucking leg it!" I'm gonna try and hold him off as long as I can. And she's going to cast. How am I gonna do this? Sorry, I'm just quickly going through this insanely giant spell list that I've got going on.
Frondrith uses her action and bonus action to sprint towards the party. It catches up to you guys around the corner, up to Yervith and Lockie.
Is that the butler got stabbed?
Yes, Frondrith. Yeah.
Then I healed her.
Yeah, so she's got 10. She's got 10 hit points as she runs up to Yervith and Lockie. Gives you guys these wild eyes as she sort of runs past and begins heading for the storm cellar.
We do have a minute, Shana, so they're prepared for a whole minute.
Yeah.
A minute?
Yeah.
All right. In that case, I'm going to 4th level a Spirit Guardians.
Okay.
Which I'm still not sure if it's necrotic or radiant at this point anymore.
You get to choose. I would say, no. Your Spirit Guardians, your Warlock patron has an effect on those. You watch as you summon your Spirit Guardians, your shadow splits and forms these tiny little varices. These like little... No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You watch as your shadow splits and forms these very strange creatures, almost like black ravens, but with 2 sets of wings. So 4 wings flapping and these wicked sharp talons, curved pointed beaks. And they begin flying around, cawing loudly, making these sort of horrible noises. A shadow is left behind where they move. Spirit Guardians, I'm guessing you're casting it on the frozen soldiers?
It's a stealth, so it's 15
It follows you, that's right. Yep.
It follows me. Yeah, like, like the giant eyeball crow-looking things from Steven Universe?
Yes.
I'm imagining they kind of look like tiny versions of that, but they're, black crows.
Sure.
It's, I don't know, it's just, I always imagine them, but, and then, she's going to, make sure that Mira's coming with her, and, like, she's going to be keeping up the rear, essentially, and, looks back to check that all the guards are still frozen in place, but really she's trying to check on Jin to make sure he's not too badly hurt.
Can you make me a perception check or an investigation check? Your choice.
Perception or investigation, eh?
Your choice.
Oh, bad. Sorry, sorcerer.
7. Nah, you don't know where Jin
that is also performance. That's not perception.
Performance.
It's actually a +0.
So it's even less. So it's 3.
It's less than that, yeah.
So it's 3.
I just blend in.
You don't know where Jin is. You've not seen him. But if he was amongst those guards, you think, ugh, Jin's dead. Like he's gone. No. As you look amongst the frozen guards, you just think like, I hope Jin wasn't in that. I really hope he wasn't, because that looks rough. And then you move your 30 feet to catch up to Mira, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah. So she's like I said, so she's trying to keep up sort of the rear.
Yeah.
So that she can at least try and catch if anyone's gaining on us. Like she wants to sort of have like the Spirit Guardians ready. So it's 10-minute concentration.
Yeah. Yervith, you're up next.
Is everyone kind of within 30 feet now? Can I position myself in such a way that everyone is within 30 feet. So actually, before this happens, so as Shana moves up, that triggers the 30 feet because her movement was the last one to get everyone within range. Your held action from before goes off,
and you cast Pass Without Trace.
Nice.
Amazing.
Now it is your full turn. Yes, sorry, I should have told you that triggered when Shana moved up, so you get your full turn. Yes, of course.
Cool. I kind of see that everyone's running, which is great. And I'm hoping... What I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to cast another spell, because I'm such a caster, and this is what I do. I just cast spells.
Things like Thorn Whip and...
shit, no, I can't actually. Damn. Actually, it might be useful to see, just depending on how long these guards are going to be here.
They look. I'm going to tell you right now, this ice, it's intense. They look frozen, and they look like they're going to be frozen for a little bit of time. It's not even started melting yet.
I mean, it's a concentration spell anyway. Actually, don't worry about it. I was going to cast Hunter's Mark, but it's a concentration spell, so it would break.
It would break past that trace.
What I will, however, do is probably cast some good berries. And give them to our wounded butler friend.
Frondrith. She gratefully takes the good berries. How many can you make with the first level? I think it's 10. She takes 10 more HP. That's double what she was before. As she starts eating them, she looks back at the soldiers.
You will have to get your friends to come with me, all of them. I think I know somewhere safe that I can take you. There is a place, my sister's house. It should be safe to take you there.
Do you know another way out of the manor?
Yes, there is a back entrance that the gardeners and servants use. I will take us there now. Your friend, Illyrian, I do not see him here.
Nope.
Where is he?
Nope.
Oh, he will be fine. I'm sure he's got some plan in motion.
Just so you know, if he has transformed himself with any sort of magic, dragons can see through that. Old ones.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, that's not good at all. I my eyes glance back at everyone, and I'm like, that's a problem, guys.
I can get him out if you want.
That might be a good idea.
Changeling is not magic. Disguise self is.
Book.
So
They just see him as a naked dragon.
So they can see.
I am
I
still
would have
going
to emulate the clothes.
You don't know, Jin. You're not hearing this. You are frozen in ice in quite a bit of pain.
Oh no, what I mean is that when you said
Yeah.
changelings don't use magic, so my changeling, I'm just like for Jared.
Yes.
Changeling form is fine.
So
but,
your physical form, but clothes is illusionary. So your changeling form, you can change your appearance, but not your clothing. Yeah.
I'll just say that I wanted to look trendier than the others.
Yervith is still going to. I mean, at that information, we're all stealthing. Lockie says that he can get him out. I'm going to stay with the butler and continue down towards where she thinks we need to go.
Stay with Frondrith. She's sort of leading you around the back of the house towards a gate at the far end of the.
I glance back at Lockie and say, "I'll stay with her. Get Jin out of there."
Okay. He goes back to tinkering with what looks like a little egg, wind timer.
Next up is the commander and his troops, who are frozen in ice. They are frozen in ice. You hear from inside the ice. Lockie, it is your turn.
Okay. It feels the first time he's got it working, so he's got in his hand a little egg sound timer with bits and bobs on it. He does the last couple of finishing touches, and then he'll lob it to hit Jin with a vortex warp. So Jin, if you
what?
Lockie, talk us through this new thing, because it's the first time you're using this.
Yeah. If you let this happen, you will be teleported to us. If you don't, you need to make a Constitution saving throw.
I feel like the fact that I know every enemy is like somehow restrained, I feel like this can only really be from our party.
Okay. So all right. So if you let this happen, then what you see is the little gadget will attach to you, and the timer will flip up and flip back and flip up, and then from your view, time reverses itself. So
Oh, cool.
you see, it doesn't unsheathe you in the ice, but the things that have happened, you running towards the thing, and then the blast from Mira and stuff like that, those things start to unwind themselves, and then you find yourself teleported back, standing, still encased in ice, unfortunately, but standing where you were a few previous seconds.
That's fun. That'd be a lot better.
I will say as well, for the view of this, you watch as this happens, this timer goes up and down and up and down, you watch as these runes begin carving themselves out in space, these giant runes that then begin swirling around Jin. And you watch, as Lockie describes, time moves backwards for you for a few moments, Jin. From the outside perspective, as you guys watch, as Jin moves backwards in time. From Jin's perspective, everyone else is moving backwards in time, Jin. You watch as the others begin sort of like pulling away, the ice gets sucked back in, and then you find yourself pulled back. And then with a sudden lurch, the spell ends, the device cracks open and drops to the ground and begins turning into dust. And Jin, you are suddenly next to the party.
Cool. I'll allow that.
Pokeball.
Yeah, that's what I imagine it like. It's a Pokeball, but with extra steps.
Dice effects still included.
Yeah, it's a timer ball. It's literally a timer ball.
It's timeable.
Yeah, timey-wimey Pokeball.
You're just going to hear.
Since he's still restrained, I'll lift him and I'll...
Yeah, because he is still frozen.
You'll just be hearing.
Actually, yeah. So it's a creature you see within range. Actually, I would say that Jin is only covered in a very thin layer of ice. He's not frozen like a block of ice because it's a creature. It's just sort of the surface frost. Jin is no longer sort of frozen solid, but you can see him like shivering, and his cheeks have gone blue from the cold. Even the draconic scales are sort of like a bit tinged with blue as he's sort of frozen, shivering slightly. Thank you, Lockie.
Technically, you use an action to break away the ice, like you use it.
Yeah.
So,
really nicely done, and really cool to see Vortex Warp in action. Really cool spell.
Like,
It's insane.
second level conjuration.
It is
90-foot range. If you compared that with, if you combine that with distance spell, that's 180-foot warp range, 180-foot teleport. This second level spell.
Yeah, I've been holding on to that for a while.
I know.
There's other things I've had thoughts of it, like if someone fails it, you can just put them 90 feet up in the air and let them drop. Because it's any space that I can see within the range.
That's a guaranteed damage of, I think, is that 5d6 from 90 feet? It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
For a level 2 spell.
For a level 2 spell. Yeah. It's from Tasha's, I'm pretty sure, isn't it? Isn't it from Tasha's? Yeah. All the OP shit is.
But wait, if you had distance spell, you could do it
180 feet.
Yeah, and for every level above second, you increase your distance by 30 feet.
Yeah.
Owen.
Yeah. So technically, if you cast this as a 5th level and then combined it with distant, technically, I think that would get you to 300 feet.
That's insta-dead, pretty much.
It's insta-death.
What?
Yes, Jin. Or Jared, I should say.
What type of armor are the guards wearing?
Metal.
How long would it take for them to take off? It would take a while, wouldn't it?
Yes. Especially if they're frozen solid.
No, I was talking about the ones that are currently under the
the hypnotic pattern. Yeah, I mean they're wearing these metal breastplates and metal greaves and pauldrons. But you can still see they are currently, because Mira hasn't cast another concentration spell yet. Lockie hasn't cast another concentration spell yet. Sorry, not Mira.
Oh yeah, Vortex isn't even concentration.
No,
spell.
Not even concentration. It's instantaneous.
That's broken.
Can
I agree. I almost considered not allowing it, but it's too late. I didn't say in advance, so.
Because I'm wearing a breastplate, I would have similar armor to them.
Yeah.
Could I take a lot of the stuff that they have maybe they've got like scarves or some of like more cosmetic stuff? Can I?
So they're wearing strips of cloth that have been wrapped around their scales underneath the armor, and you can see that the cloth is mostly blacks and reds underneath the silver armor.
Okay. If I can't take it easily, I might get a quick sketch of them just so I can emulate the armor later on if I need to.
Yeah, I'd say that you can make a quick sketch to try and emulate the armor. Absolutely, yeah, you can definitely
use
do
my
that.
disguise
You've got time
kit
for it.
later on.
You can take sort of like, well, I don't think you need to make a quick sketch. Like looking at it, you kind of recognize, they wear strips of fabric, colored fabric underneath the armor. The armor
cool.
is acid etched. It's silver, and there's acid etching all along it. that
Okay.
is in these very intricate patterns.
Ooh. Cool, because then I might just try and emulate it later. Because even Jin knows that like the disguise self is only really for snap decisions. That's why I have such a big wardrobe in the bag of holding, because I like to obviously have physical clothes.
Yeah.
Because I would actually know about the dragon thing too, by the way, because when I met Elia originally, she could actually see through my disguise self.
So, my question is, I'm tempted to pause initiative there because the hypnotic pattern lasts for another
minute.
So it's a minute total, so it's been 2 rounds, so it's another 8 rounds. The ice lasts for 9 rounds. You guys have ample time to just begin booking it.
I will say, Owen, I will say one thing. I read the spell for the ice stuff.
Yep.
It says, and is hindered by ice formations for 1 minute, or until it or another creature within range of it uses an action to break away the
them
ice.
free. Yeah.
So it said specifically it, like they could attempt it themselves.
Oh, that's a good question.
Just because that's why I recommend when you start running.
Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't in my mind I'd read it as it had to be another creature, but you are right.
It's really strong. Have a quick look.
Yeah, it wouldn't make much of a difference.
Until it or another creature within reach uses action to break away the ice.
We better start running.
Yeah.
So they're going to use. Okay, well then they would all be using their action to break. So that turn that they did nothing, they all broke themselves out of the ice. That was their turn. In which case, I think you guys are running.
Run.
Yep. Like that's just like I should have just shut up.
No. Thank you. No. I appreciate it. And for being honest, I'm giving you an inspiration. For being honest and not trying to pull the wool over my eyes with a spell that we've not seen before. Perfect. New spell, who dis. So the guys break themselves free. Lockie does his vortex warp and pulls you towards. All of you then begin sprinting. Frondreth in front, leading you sort of around through these garden beds and through this gate. As she gets to the gate, she turns around, presses her hand against it, and mutters a word in Draconic under her breath. Which you all speak Draconic, so she says, "Seal thyself." Runes begin glowing on the gate, these Draconic runes, and you watch as the gate begins turning opaque, covering itself and being impossible to see through. And you hear from the other side pounding fists against this gate as she seals it behind you.
Oh.
That should buy us some time. Quick, come with me. We need to get out of this place right now.
Frondreth begins leading you through the back streets around the edges of these beautiful manor houses towards a park. She takes you through into the parkland area. You can see a number of other manor houses are being raided by these Draconic soldiers, these Dragonborn soldiers. Overhead, a large black dragon wheels before diving down towards Elia's estate behind you, landing with a thud on the door. The wall is crushed underneath its tail, and you see the top half of the roof is torn back as the dragon peels it open, looking inside, trying to find where you were. You continue sprinting through, keeping cover low beneath the trees, unable to be spotted from above, but knowing that at any moment, those powerful wing beats could be coming behind. Frondreth takes you back onto the streets before pulling you through into a small courtyard, slamming another door behind. The area that she's taken you into looks to be some smaller houses, possibly a servant's quarters, quite close by to the manor, but far enough away that they're not seen by any of the Draconic nobles who have their servants sort of quartered nearby. As she sort of is panting, holding the door shut behind her, she looks over you lot.
Okay, we should be safe here for a moment. They will not think to search the servants' quarters immediately, but we will need to find a way to disguise you or get you out of the city or rescue Elia or find something to do.
Come.
I'm back in Illyrian. I would have just probably changed. I might at least have some help in that, because I've manufactured personas for everybody. Forged documents and everything.
I think it's best if we can find a way to disguise you as Dragonborn for the moment. Keep you safe.
Remember, we can't stay in the city overnight. In our current forms or in our forged forms either.
And if they can see through magical means, then disguising
only the
themselves
dragons can, the big dragons.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think with that, Shana's just going to instantly silent image herself to look like a Dragonborn. She's like, all right.
Yeah, we can still remain hidden. We don't, we can try and stay underground. Even, remaining in this city would be maybe too dangerous. I don't know.
That could be a good idea.
Yeah, I do have one ally, potentially, we could go to the university. If they haven't already raided her.
Where is there an underground?
Sorry. You go.
Sorry, just a thought. But is there an underground of any means? As much as I hate to say it, but
there are tunnels. Yes, there are tunnels branching underneath the city. The city was built on top of a vast network of caverns and tunnels that lead down to the Underdark. There are passageways that you could take to access various parts of the city.
Ooh.
we maybe go down
Okay.
there.
Who lives in these tunnels?
No one. They are. Some families use them for storage. Some of them use them for keeping places secure. The Otalia Kanos Elia, my mistress, is one of the only dragon families to not have the network of tunnels underneath explored or mapped, which it seems may have been to our detriment. It's how I think the thieves got in through those tunnels and then used magic to force their way through the earthen walls above.
Do you know where one of the entrances to these tunnels are, and how far away it is?
Yes, most of the sewers lead down into these tunnels. It's waste is dumped down there. It flows through into the Underdark.
This is why I hate cities.
That might also allow us to track the thieves, if they've been using those tunnels.
Seems logical. That's what I
We
would
have
do.
no choice in the matter.
Who is this contact, Mira? Perhaps I could find them and bring them to you here. I think you will be safe here for the next few hours at least.
It's one of my old lecturers at the university, Fulgrad.
I recognize the name. She came and spoke with Elia a number of times. Red Dragonborn, correct?
Yes, yes.
I will see if I can locate her or send a message to have her come and meet here. Before I do, is this someone you can trust? Someone we can trust?
I was going to say Bacchus, but I think he's been watched or taken already.
Well, he's already been involved, supposedly, with his wine, so it may not be best to drag him into this mess.
Now Bacchus is going to be... He's going to be getting some heat.
Our airship is right there.
Oh no!
Do we have any way of signaling or contacting Leosin remotely? Anyone?
Does anyone have the spell message?
Nope.
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 Okay.
That's pretty...
Sending stones?
No clerics. No wizards.
I'll just get my bird friend. No, I don't have any bird friends. I wish.
How fucking the...
No drugs.
Oh wait, and that's actually pretty far away as well, isn't it?
That's
ages
hours away.
Yeah.
Hours away.
By cart. Hours by cart, longer by walking.
Okay.
Can you contact Griswold?
Sorry.
What?
Does Lockie have the Griswold contact still?
Oh, yeah. He probably.
I mean, if you can message Griswold, can Griswold message Leosin and tell him to take off right now and fly the fuck away?
Yeah,
Because he can teleport. He's got the teleportation.
No, tell him not to go there, but
Well, I mean,
get a message to Leosin.
I mean, he almost.
He'd be putting himself in significant danger if he went there.
Well, I can't control what he does, but I can absolutely message him. Yes.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
All right. So Lockie will do that. He'll just sort of go into himself for a little bit and then.
Modem noises.
Lockie, as you send out the message, you hear a reply.
Yes, of course, I'll get on it right away. Sounds like you're in a bit of a pickle.
Oh yes.
Silence for a moment. A moment
right,
longer.
cool.
All right. Well, he's on it, so hopefully that means Leosin will get away. As far as we're concerned now, though, how far away are these tunnels, just in case we need to bug out?
The park that we ran through just before, there will be an entrance there that we can access. One of the water overflow pipes will lead down into the tunnels. It is very rare for there to be flooding, but occasionally the storms can sweep across and water overflow pipes will lead down into the tunnels.
So should we lay low here and then go?
I think we should lay low until dark. You are too obvious, too many eyes and ears in the city that we do not know or cannot trust. At this point, I think it's safe to assume that everyone that we do not know is an enemy or...
compromised.
In any case, unless they're tracking us with magical means, we should be safe for the time being.
Yes. Yeah.
So, what time is it actually? Like what day?
It's just before midday. Morning, yeah, it's just before midday.
We literally woke up and then just happened, basically.
So we had the whole morning routines, like the gags and the gifts, and then
escalation.
Like, we found the tunnel. Then the council got poisoned, and then this has happened.
So as you were talking through the timeline, I think there's a good point to bring up the timeline. You get the distinct impression from what the guards said that the council were poisoned before you'd even discovered the break-in. It sounds like this has been coordinated and organized, and this was
fuck.
So
there's no helping it.
So Elia flew off within so as you're sort of all explaining it, there was a little bit of suspicion. Shana kind of thought maybe Lockie and Mira were like responsible for the stealing of the plants for a bit, and they were acting a bit sus.
Thankfully, Mira and Shana
but Mira and Lockie were acting sus about something completely different.
Because they found the book that Shana was reading about liches, and so they're like, "Whoa, we reckon Shana's trying to become a lich," and so there was this whole like an hour. Yeah. So there was about an hour and a half. Yeah, it was about an hour and a half of this after Elia flew off, and then the guards stormed through.
Because remember how she went to the library and she was reading about Asura?
Yeah, I do remember that.
So they found the book and were like,
"What the fuck?" You guys were all doing legit things while I was running around butt naked as a gnome. Yeah.
I reckon that there might be a good place to wrap up, because it gives you guys a bit of a chance to think through before the next session, which kind of matches what your characters have now, which is a bit of a chance to kind of think through.
Yeah.
Or panic,
just quickly, just wrap my head around one more thing.
Yes.
So we noticed that other noble houses were getting raided as well.
Yes.
So it wasn't just this one that was targeted.
It wasn't just Elia. It wasn't just the Silver Scale Manor. It was other houses too.
Okay.
Other manors of nobles.
Do we know who this black dragon is, by any case? By any chance?
Maybe Mira, but
you haven't seen it. So no is the short answer. Mira might have an idea of who they are if she'd had a really clear look at them. You've only sort of seen the shadow fly overhead and then land on top of the manor. So at this point, not 100%.
Right.
But Mira, as we end the session, do you want to roll me a history check really quickly, just to see if you recognize this dragon?
My best stat.
Actually, sorry, before you roll it, I would say history. Oh, you've rolled it already.
So, hold on.
But you can add the bonus to it. So I would have said you can do history, or potentially I would say perception as well to like see them.
Could I also give her bardic inspiration, because I had said to her that Mira might know the black dragon?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I'll allow that. Mira, what's your plus for perception?
0.
Oh, okay, so it's the same. Okay.
At least you get to roll a d8.
You can roll a d8 to add to that, Mira, if you like.
It's going to be a 1.
Flash of Genius as well.
Lockie's Flash of Genius, so that's up to 8. Is it plus 5?
It's gonna be 1.
Can I tell Mira how to use her eyes properly? Because give her the help action.
4.
That's 11.
Okay. 11.
Use your eyes.
Better.
Mira.
Use your eyes.
No, you haven't had a clear enough look at this dragon. No distinguishing features, but it is a large black dragon. Clearly an older adult dragon. One thing that does stand out to you that you don't quite sort of know what to do with, or don't really know what this information pertains to. One of its legs is partially disfigured. Its front left leg is actually missing the foot. It has been severed below the wrist.
Before we end, I'm going to ask one more thing as well.
Yes.
His Passer Without Trace is still on.
Yes.
Yep.
Yervith is a very sneaky boy. He still has a bardic inspiration.
Yep.
I'm going to ask Yervith before we go, so we can get as much info as possible, so we have that knowledge.
Do you want me to say and go back in?
Well, I don't know. Maybe even climb up on the roof and have like an eagle's view of like what's going on in the city. something like that, just to get as
with
I don't know.
Dragon flying around.
I know, but you're super stealthy, and your cloak will blend into the roof.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's up to
And
you,
you
Yervith.
and you pass with that trace, and you have a bardic inspiration.
That's true. I think.
Look, it's your call. If you're not, I'll just.
No.
But if you're not,
Would
you're not
Yervith
willing
do
to
this?
It's up to you.
I think he would.
Okay.
I'll leave it with
he
you,
would.
Matt.
Make me a stealth check. Make me a stealth check really quickly.
Just
You
get
can
my,
add.
I'll give him the help action as well.
Okay.
So I'm like using my disguise kit to actually like do like the fuck it isn't.
That's pretty good.
So 32. 32 takes you
Roll
up
the
to a
D8.
total of 42 because it's plus
Roll the
10 from
D8.
pass without
Roll
trace.
the D8.
Roll the d8. Let's see if you can get to 50.
Yeah. Wait. One
If
second.
you get an 8, and get to 50 stealth, that is the most ridiculous. Okay, still pretty amazing. 45. So just for those following along at home, Matt rolled a 19. Yervith rolled a 19 for stealth, plus his 13 because of his ranger and rogue background, takes him up to a total of 32. Plus 3 from the bardic inspiration takes him to 33. Plus 10 from pass without trace takes him up to 45.
Won't get there. Flash of Genius gets a 49 though.
Yeah, it doesn't get him to 50.
I'll do it anyway.
Now,
Don't worry. Don't worry about it, mate. Yervith, you just watch as Yervith just
49?
pulls his cloak around him and just fades into the background and disappears. Like, and as Yervith is like talking, you cannot see him. Like a perception filter is active. He is invisible. He's a chameleon. Yervith you just open the door, walk out onto the street, stroll up the stairs onto the top of the roof, kick back, lie down, have a bit of a look at. No. You're moving incredibly stealthily. Yervith is sticking to the shadows, moving.
and you can climb.
And you can climb as well. You've got a climbing speed. Yeah, Yervith just scuttles out the outside of the building, up in the shadows along the side where there's a drainage pipe. You literally just move next to that and climb up the side, poke your head out very stealthily as you have a bit of a look around and pull yourself up and hide under a few plants and cactuses on the roof. You just sort of pull yourself in amongst the foliage, pull your cloak around you and begin observing. Yervith, can you make me a perception check, please?
Well, if you roll in that one.
Pretty funny.
Man, he's got good perception.
Comes back down, he's like, it's a nat 1!
I mean, it still goes at 12, but
Nat 1. Nat 1.
You jinxed it, Allie.
So that's a total of 12. It's still pretty good. You can see that there are soldiers throughout the city. There are a number of manor houses that are being raided. Most importantly, however, you can see the council hall from here. This massive building with these large open areas for dragons to fly through. The banner that had been flying above this draconic symbol, these draconic runes carved over a large claw, which had read Draconic Capital. You can see that as you're watching that banner, tiny figures on top of the building sever whatever is holding it up, and you watch as the banner collapses down. Then a new banner is pulled up and unrolls. And as it unfurls and drops down over the side, you can see a symbol that you haven't seen before.
Ooh.
A dragon with 5 heads.
Oh shit!
And that is where we're going to end for
That's
tonight.
perfect.
I was gonna say something, but it's probably too late.
Go.
I was gonna say, could Eleanor give me the help action?
Did she climb up there?
Go on. Just to see
Oh
if you
my
can
God.
get, just see if you get a nat 20. Just see if you get a
Please.
nat 20 for your stealth. Oh, for your perception.
Yeah.
Oh, it is, you can do it anyway, but I
No, I know it's okay. I'm just
you can do it if you like, just to see what it would have got you.
Wow.
Oh, not much better, 13.
Come on!
yeah.
You were meant to see this banner, and that's it, nothing else. But yeah, you watch as this banner unfurls, and this 5-headed dragon is now flying over the council building in Veloxer. And that is where we're going to wrap up for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, on that cliffhanger. It's going to be a bit of a spicy episode next session, I think. So thank you so much. That is everything from us tonight. That is it for D&D. We will be back tomorrow night for our Avatar Legends RPG campaign, Embers of War. So if you haven't come and watched the Avatar Legends campaign, I highly recommend it. If you like our D&D stream, you'll like the Avatar Legends one. It's just D&D, but in the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender. What's not to love? Wow. So we'll be back tomorrow night with that one. I will see you guys then. But until then, stay safe, stay well, and we will see you all again next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Farewell.
Bye.